if you never find her.
I will.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the virtual press conference with Rory Alexander, Sam Retford, Seamus McLean Ross, Conor MacNeill, and Tony Curran, the cast from the highly anticipated standalone prequel series, Outlander, Blood of My Blood, premiering August 8th on STARZ. The newest series in the beloved Outlander universe, the epic romantic saga brings viewers from the war-torn battlefields of World War I to the sweeping Highlands of 18th century Scotland, promising two new love stories filled with loyalty, passion, and desire as the young couples defy the forces that seek to tear them apart. We'll begin today with a few previously submitted questions. If you'd like to ask a question during the press conference, you can either raise your hand, and once you're called upon, please accept to be promoted to a panelist so you can unmute and turn your camera on. And remember to state your name and affiliation before you ask your questions. Or you can ask your question via the chat function by entering your name, affiliation, and your question in the chat, and our moderator will ask the question for you. We will get to your questions in the order it was received. Now, without further ado, please welcome Seamus McLean Ross, Sam Retford, Conor MacNeill, Rory Alexander, and Tony Curran. All right, gentlemen, to kick things off, we're going to start with Seamus. So Seamus, and then we'll go back to front and end with Tony for this first question. All right, so if each of you can please share a little bit about who you play and give us 3 words that you think best describe your character. Go ahead, Seamus.
Hi, I'm Seamus McLean Ross, as I just said, but I play Colum MacKenzie, the eldest son of the MacKenzie family. And after Red Jacob's passing, Colum and Dougal are thrust into this world of political navigation to fight for that ultimate prize of the lairdship. Due to our father not leaving a clear heir, they are thrown into this world. 3 words to describe my character are stoic, intense, and all-seeing. Dougal.
Dougal is...
You're going the right way? Did you say Tony? Sorry. Is it Tony next? Sorry.
Is it? I'm not sure.
I think it was this.
Okay, sorry.
Sam, you can go ahead.
Clear as mud.
Dougal is loyal, passionate, and fierce.
We just do 3 words. So I'm Conor MacNeill. I play Ned Gowan, who is the legal advisor, the bladier to the MacKenzie family. And I think 3 words to describe him are wise, loyal, and patient.
I'm Rory Alexander. I play Murtagh Fitzgibbons Fraser, who is best friends and cousin to Brian Fraser, and I am sort of the ward of Mr. Lord Lovat. 3 words to describe his character: hopeful, loyal, and romantic.
That was beautifully said. Hello there, my name's Tony Curran. I play Simon Fraser, Lord Lovat, clan chieftain of the Fraser clan. I would say he's Lord Lovat is devious, he's ambitious, and he's uncompromising. Lord Lovat has fallen down in his luck. He lives at Castle Leathers, which is unfortunately could do with a lick of paint. His clothes are somewhat ragged. He sold all his jewelry, and he wants to get back to the top of the echelons of his society and of the clan system. So keep an eye out for this guy. The old fox is coming to get you.
All right, now that we know a little bit about your characters, we're going to take some questions from our press today. Our first question is coming from Jamie Ruby with Sci-Fi Vision. Jamie, you can unmute yourself and ask your questions.
Hi guys, thanks so much for talking to us today. I want you to talk about how the costumes help inform the decisions that you make, because obviously, period piece, it's a big part of it. Just for all
I'll
of
go
you.
frustration. As soon as you put the heels on, it's complete and utter frustration for Lord Lovat because they hurt so much, and you know exactly how the ladies feel. So for me, once I put my tights and my heels on, it definitely gets you into character.
show
See,
begins.
I feel the opposite about the heels because
Oh,
the
really?
heels give me like a poise.
Will they give you 3 more inches,
They
Connor?
They also
Yeah.
give 3 more
as well,
inches. You need 3 more inches.
Oh my darling,
But yeah, no, they make me walk very differently, and I'm instantly in a Ned zone when I put the heels on. I also love the ponytail as well. It gives a real impact on how I behave.
I feel like for us kilt wearers, the kilt is the most practical piece of equipment we can be given to do our job in, because my goodness, you get a lot of freedom with that thing. Sprinting through the Highland woods is.
Do you wear your underwear, or you don't? You go full. What do
you call it,
can
commando?
You explain us.
Well, yeah, so some of us have to do quite a lot of roly-polying on the floor, and I'm afraid the amount I have flashed my underwear to get pulled through. If I wasn't wearing any, then I probably wouldn't be here right now.
For me, my favorite thing about it is the weight. The weight of the jacket just adds some power to me, and really grounds him to the earth. I love it.
And it changes the way that you stand and the way you hold yourself. So I go from this kind of lanky, stooped person, and then all of a sudden you're in 3 layers of tweed. And so it just removes you so far from how you normally physically are that you're just instantly into a different headspace, which is so useful.
Big props to Tricia because the details on them is unbelievable.
She's incredible.
Well. And also for different scenes and different story parts, especially like the weddings or anything like that, or any sort of big event.
So many different.
There's so many different costumes that are so suited for the period of the show. It's great.
You have to be very aware of the cuffs. Some of the cuffs that Tricia has put together, they're quite gargantuan. You could hide a rabbit up there.
Careful.
A Batman thing.
Exactly.
When
When you're going for your Bordeaux, you're picking up a glass of something. You have to be very careful.
Great, thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jamie. We've got our next question from Monica Gleberman. She's with Time Warner Entertainment.
Hi, how is everyone?
The lovely background.
Lovely background.
Oh, thank you. I
Cool.
love to be with a bunch of gorgeous men, so.
We all.
So I got into this business. Thank you.
So I'm going to jump in with a sort of a heavy question, but I love all of you guys and you're so fun. So I wanted to ask you, obviously there's a lot of myth and lore to all of your characters from Outlander. They are beloved. So I wanted to know from you guys what you think Blood of My Blood reframes, or how it kind of complicates what we think we already know about these families and their dynamics.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to first start? I think in terms of reframing, Murtagh, I think, is seen as this quite jaded character in the Outlander world that people know. So the opportunity to go back sort of pre-trauma, as it were, to see him on the other side of that when he's pretty wide-eyed and has high hopes for himself in the world is a bit of a gift, because we kind of know where he's going to end up, but how he gets there, is going to be this kind of journey of highs and lows. So that's kind of the freedom of being like, actually, he might get his day in the sun, even if we know he doesn't necessarily end up there, which is a really fun thing to be able to show people who are interested in his story.
I think the same with Ned, actually, whenever you see him towards the end, he's very wise and he's an old sage in Outlander. And this version, you see a fieriness in him that wasn't necessarily there in the other show. And it's kind of the journey of how he learned to become this sage old man, especially putting up with what these guys put him through. It's his kind of university in a way for it.
It's a fantastic privilege to be given the blueprints essentially and the end goal, and then you as an actor be able to fill in those gaps. And there is an infinitesimal amount of obstacles to be bounced between that allow us to end up at the Dougal, Colum, Ned, and Murtagh that we know and love.
That's a great word.
It's a great use of the word.
Great word. Great word.
Thank you.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Should I say something? Should I say, my old friend Clive Russell in Outlander played Lord Lovat originally when you first see him with Jamie and Claire. going back to the sort of genesis of where a lot of these characters come from, it's lovely to get the opportunity to play someone who actually existed. Simon Fraser, Lord Lovat, fought in the Battle of Culloden before he was decapitated a few years later in the Tower of London. So to have the opportunity to play someone like this and to fill his shoes or his boots, as it were, with the sort of intensity that the writing brings is a real joy. And to play against most of these fellas behind me, some of them I have played with, as it were. Some of them I've yet to encounter, but I look forward to it. And
some people never play with.
Never play with them.
For me, Gary Lewis has got this kind of sardonic kind of cynicism in his portrayal of Colum in his older years. And again, I think for all of us, it's the formative years of the characters, and this is a time of Colum's life with inchoate development into becoming a leader of a clan. And that is a really interesting kind of narrative thread of such a young man who is just forced to be not only much older in his years, but lead a group of people in ancient civilization. And his fire in his belly, I think there's up there for all of us. When they're older, they're more cynical about the world. When Colum's aspirations of what the clan can be and also wider society and his own ambitions are all there for him. These are the times of our lives for everyone, 18, 19 years old. So getting to live in that is a joy.
Well, thank you guys so much. I adore all of you, and you were fantastic this season.
Thank you so much. Lovely to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Monica. All right, next question comes from Tony Tolato. He's with Sci-Fi Talk. Tony, you can unmute.
Hi, it's Tony Tolato. Actually, it's called now Exploring Humanity Through Sci-Fi is the new title. I want to ask you, gentlemen, there is a power vacuum as the series starts. So from the basis of your characters, is there any apprehension in this vacuum and what could end up happening? Maybe something positive or negative?
Oh, absolutely. They are tumultuous times, especially in Castle Leoch, when the shift of power is in play, especially when it's such a formidable character as Red Jacob, who has not only led the clan, he seized power from the previous successor. And so there is a whole new wave of potential leaders of this clan. It's not like a king where they leave a clear birthright heir. It is epically gained through by merit and skill and deft intelligence, and so it's going to be who has the ultimate power to achieve that against the whole sea of opposition.
I think as well for my character, it feels like it's a vacuum that will implode. I think at the beginning, I don't know if Ned can see a way through genuinely, and he has a lot to wrangle to make it work. It's a really good question. That actually,
it's a great question.
Yeah.
It's, if you look historically at any time that Scotland, England, Wales, or Ireland were left without leadership, this amazing, as you say, vacuum opens up, and they are the most volatile times in history where we have these huge turning points for countries, and that's just an absolute privilege to be able to sit inside the inner mechanisms, the socio mechanisms of those events, and really play with the ideologies that are going through people's heads.
It's interesting you say that, big man. There's a volatility, but there's also a vulnerability to the Mackenzies, and the scene that I have with Brian and Murtagh, and I'm wanting them to go along to this clan gathering over your way, young man, and I'm like, and he's like, oh, am I going to spy? I'm like, not spy, just listen to what he can learn of value, because Fraser, Lovat certainly wants to keep his fingers in these pies as well, because as much as Seamus said, there's no birthright of a king to become the head clan chieftain. Ned is obviously trying to keep these two quiet and keep them peaceful and find someone who will lead the Mackenzies with dignity and with strength, but at the same time, there's a deviousness to who's going to become the next leader as well.
Also, you see opportunity in that vacuum as well.
Oh, absolutely, most definitely.
It's not fair game. It's pretty Machiavellian stuff, isn't it?
Absolutely. It means every piece of information is valuable. No one can be like tunnel visioned and have their set plan. So people's plans have to keep changing because the power structures are so unstable, which is where you get so much conflict.
The Scots can never agree on one thing.
Certainly.
That's our problem.
Well, thank you guys. You're all killing it. It's been a pleasure.
Great name,
watching
Tony,
you
by
work.
the way. Great name.
Love it,
Great
me,
name,
man.
Great name.
Thank you, Tony. Up next, we have Jamie Steinberg with Starry Constellation magazine.
Lovely name.
Such a pleasure to speak with all of you. Tony, you're so good at playing mercurial characters, and just your Van Gogh is chef's kiss perfection.
Oh, thank you very much. That's very sweet of you.
My boyfriend actually passed away, and he would watch your performance as Van Gogh in Doctor Who to just make him feel constantly. It's just a breathtaking performance. But
God bless.
my question
Thank you.
actually is for Rory. Murtagh seems to be love at first sight when he finds Ellen. Is that something that he's sure of it's love, or is it something else that's really connecting these two?
That is a great question, and is actually something that he tries to come to terms with through the series, especially when he's surrounded by, that there is another love story that he kind of witnesses, that he compares his to, and he kind of tries to weigh them up and see how they match up. I think he doesn't necessarily know what this feeling is, and it's tied in with a lot of kind of projections that he has. He really wants to find his way in the world and kind of start his own family and like give himself some direction. And I think he sees in Ellen kind of an opportunity to put himself in the limelight and be the center of his own story and have someone by his side who he can go on that journey with. So in a way, it is really about Ellen, and in another way, it's kind of it's a projection of all of his hopes onto a person, and then he will have to reckon with that at some point. He kind of gets therapized as he goes through the season.
A romantic's dream. Thank you guys so much.
Cheers, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jamie.
It's us.
Our next question is coming from Ariana LeBerry with Fresh Pair of Eyes.
Hi, you guys. Nice to meet all of you.
Ariana.
You all right?
How are you?
This question is about Dougal and Colum's dad, but I would love all of your guys' opinions on it. Do you think he did not choose a laird mostly as another way to stick it to them in death? Like, there had to be a decision, but do you think this was another way of him kind of being a bad dad and giving them another issue to deal with, the money issues and all of that, instead of making a decision like they needed to?
And he alludes to Ellen in a flashback as to his arrogance toward his own mortality, and I really think he believed he would outlive even the necessity of having to pick someone to follow in his footsteps. I really believe he thought he had a.
I also think, like, rationally, neither of them are fit at this point in time. So trying to make that decision isn't necessarily to hurt them or to oust them from being included. It's actually what's the right thing for the clan in the long term. And I think he's waiting to see. And like you say, I think he was arrogant about his age as well, but he's waiting to see, will one of them eventually step up?
Also, watching it again on the big screen made me think of watching the chess scene in episode 1 with Peter and Harry in the study. I think he believes Ellen will find a way through that chessboard and navigate to that that layer chip or of that ilk, I think he trusts her to navigate the world in the Highlands. Whatever happens, she's the one who's got his belief.
Although, unfortunately, for the clan and for him, as he mentions, she's a lady,
She's a lady,
woman.
yeah.
So she.
Although, but it's such a rogue move, I still think he knows that. He's not dumb. I think he still knows that she will be able to pull these strings and go behind the scenes of the office to conduct her power, and you always see that throughout this season and in season 2.
kinda
Awesome.
makes
Well,
me
thank you
think
so much for answering that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, mate.
Cheers.
No, no,
thank
no,
you.
no.
Thank you. All right. Our next question is with Jasmine Flowers from Black Things UK.
Hey, hello, guys. How's everybody doing
Yeah.
today?
Hey, Jasmine, we're good. How are you?
How are you?
Pretty
Hi,
good. I'm
Jasmine.
I'm Jasmine with Black Things UK, and I just want to say it was truly an awesome treat to watch you all transform what I'm seeing on screen. I had an awesome time watching you guys. So thank you guys
Yes,
for
that's
that.
what we want.
Absolutely.
you.
So my question is, it can be a challenge to step into the light of an already established brand with beloved characters. When the last scene is shown, I want to know from you guys, what do you want the audience takeaway to be?
I've talked about it like a tapestry. This show, I think, stepping into a universe is something personally as an actor I've always wanted to do because it's such a detailed world, and I think the fact we've been gifted this spin-off show is just adding more contrast, more detail to an already beautiful painting. I just hope fans are more entrenched in the story and see how complex these favorite characters' lives truly are, and the years of their lives that you've not already seen. I think it's just adding more depth and more drama to a brilliant, brilliant story.
Yeah, you're getting a new perspective on characters you know and love so well, but you're getting the journey of how they got to be the characters that you know and love so well. So you're seeing an entirely new version of them in our show, I think, which is exciting.
I hope it changes people's minds about certain characters, to be able to give people so much more context, as Seamus said, could really inspire a shift in how those characters come across and the reason behind a lot of their decisions, which objectively might not align with what fans want to happen, but this at least allows a little window into the soul of where they're coming from.
Yeah.
Obviously, Diana's novels were adapted for television for Outlander, but with our show, the sort of the new beginning, sort of the genesis of where these incredible characters came from, we have carte blanche in that sense to do whatever we want to do, from the First World War back to the sort of first Jacobite rebellion in 1714. So we've, as beautifully put, Seamus mentioned the canvas that we have sitting before us. It's sort of empty, and all these gentlemen will be waving their brushes on it. So it'll be interesting to see what actually comes out of that. Hopefully the fans will respond to it.
Yeah.
And to follow on from what Seamus said about the tapestry, you're never quite sure what fans are going to take away or which storyline or character it is that they're going to relate to. And because the characters are so detailed and that there's a few stories that you can follow, everyone kind of has an opportunity to let something resonate with them that might be different from someone else who watches the show. So I'm hoping that with the themes and some of the setups that we have, then people will be able to like personally engage in quite different ways to how we're expecting, which would be exciting too.
Absolutely.
Like learning to love Lord Lovat, you mean? Is that what you were pretending?
Like learning to love Lord Lovat.
Lord Lovat, yeah.
Or even say learning to
Anyone
love Lord
ever
Lovat.
love Lord Lovat?
I was going to say, you've yet to convince us.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. Thank you guys.
so
Thank
much.
you.
Have a nice
Great
day.
questions.
Jasmine.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Jasmine.
me too.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jasmine.
We're a pretty
All
good
right,
team,
up
aren't we?
next-
Well, we're not talking. We've been relatively
Well behaved. It's because I'm in the room. If I wasn't here, I don't know if
I know, I
you
don't-
yourself
I don't know.
We've descended into chaos.
Thank
So we're
God
okay.
you got your
Called Connor, anti-Connor.
You got your-
Yes, it's all in check.
Anti-Tony.
All right, our
Almost
next
cushion.
question. Yes, it is coming from Megan O'Keefe with Decider, and I'll go ahead and ask her question for her on her behalf.
Looking down the pipe, by the way. Are we all looking?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're doing great. You're doing great. Okay, so this question from Megan is for Connor. Connor, I love the friendship that develops between Henry Beauchamp and Ned Gowan. What was the best part of working with Jeremy for you, and what does that friendship mean for Ned?
I think initially the friendship isn't a friendship, it's a curiosity about what Clan Grant are doing with this English bladeier and what their intentions are, given that the kind of precarious situation that the Mackenzies are in. And then it develops into a friendship because they have a lot of similarities, I think. I think they're longing for love, their loyalty to their lovers, and I think you get a little glimpse of Ned's past throughout the series that is really interesting and is very like what Henry is going through. But also Henry's incredibly intelligent, so he can have a genuine heart-to-heart with him and open up. And I think that that's really lovely. And I love acting with Jeremy. He's brilliant. And I think we're both take our work very seriously, but don't take ourselves very seriously. So there's a lot of fun in shooting those scenes, and we push each other in the right way. So yeah, it's been really, really great. That's all I've got.
Great. Thank you, Connor. Okay, we're going to go to our next journalist. He will ask his question himself. His name is Joe Venorni with Cherry the Geek TV.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, guys.
Joe.
Hi, guys. Joe Venorni, Cherry the Geek TV.
Joe?
I'm curious how familiar all of you were with the Outlander franchise going in, right? It's an established show. And since some of you are playing already established characters, did you do a deep dive and kind of study the other actors' performances? Or did you kind of want to keep it your own thing and kind of stayed away from that? Or was there a little bit of both? Walk me through your processes.
Go on, Rory.
For me, I took the second option, and Matt and Maril kind of encouraged it to be like, don't go in and try and do an impersonation. So if you can at this point, keep clear. And I'd watched some of it prior to starting the process, but then I really tried to stop so that I didn't just do a bad impression of Duncan and kind of ruin what he had already done. But I think because it is the same world and universe, like once you step into that, there are some pretty clear guidelines around. So you feel like you're very much walking the same path, but just wearing kind of slightly different shoes. Well, actually, maybe we wear the same shoes. I don't know. But yeah, then I'm hoping that once like what I'm doing is really firmed up, then I'll get to go back and watch what Duncan did, like safe in the knowledge that I'm not going to now like change what I'm doing in accordance to him, but just to basically just learn more about the character and just to enjoy seeing what Duncan did with from a different perspective.
I think it's really nice having the show as well because you know the destination. So like you get to make the journey and the plan for the journey to get to that destination. So it doesn't mean that you're making an exact replica of what they're doing, but you're going, oh, I see where I'm going towards. Do you know what I mean? So that's quite a useful thing to have.
Yeah, and people change, you know, especially when you're 18, 19 years old playing characters like Colum and Dougal. These guys have aspirations. I touched on it earlier in answers. They didn't think their life. Colum certainly didn't think he would have legs like he does. He didn't think he would face such obstacles as fighting for the leadership with his brother. So life throws all sorts of obstacles at you, and like Connor was saying, seeing where your characters end up gives you the freedom to show how he got there.
I watched with regards to Lord Lovat, I'd watched like three, 4 seasons when my wife loves the show and all her friends love it. And I'd watched quite a lot of it, but I went and did a sort of historical, political deep dive into Simon Fraser. My nephew gave me this first edition book that he lives in Nuremberg in Germany. And he was at a little bookshop one day and he found this first edition, 1903 or something. And it was a biography about Simon Fraser, Lord Lovat, written by a MacKenzie, which was sort of, it was the irony is not lost on us all. And I just started flicking through it. You know, it was over 100 years old, this book. You could smell the history. And then, you know, there was all these incredible little fruits of little gems about how Lovat played both sides. He'd play the Jacobites, he'd be with the Redcoats, and this individual, by all means necessary, what he wanted to do, he would do to get back on top of the glory days, as it were. So I think any actor doing a little bit of research like that is always helpful. You can find some gemstones.
And then all of the sort of art and design then leads to the characters, leads to us bleeding into the characters rather than us replicating them. I think it's down really to the writing and the costumes. You know, you are physically stepping into those shoes. Yeah, and apart from me, I've got size 12 feet, and Graham had a little like sort of size 4 women's feet, I think. So
unusual,
really quite unusual.
He struggles. Contrast.
Yeah, he struggles to balance. Quite large and tiny little feet. But yeah, all of that sort of does the work. He's going to kill me for that. All of that sort of does. He didn't want the public to know as well. I had to sign
they do now.
Hi, Graham.
All of the work is done for us, really. So we can bring those early days, which can, as Seamus says, be a completely different person. By the time we get to them in 30 years, they've been through so much.
Yeah,
that really,
yeah.
it's open to the audience.
Unrecognizable, really, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing.
Thanks for the question, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers, man.
Thank you, Joe. Okay, our next question comes from Genevieve McBride with Skewed and Reviewed, and I'll go ahead and ask her question for her. This is for Seamus and Sam. Seamus and Sam, the notes state that Colum and Dougal are on the same quest, but only one can be chosen as Laird. How did you and Sam work together to establish the sibling rivalry and tension between your characters?
Said this before, I'll say it again. First time I met Sam as Dougal, he really pissed me off. He really annoyed me. It was just so easy to
all those shoes.
Yeah, exactly. To act with hatred. Yeah, I mean, it was just really fun to act with Sam. The scenes are so good, and Sam just has this presence as Dougal that just infuriates Colum. Every attempt Colum tries to make of trying to reason with him, trying to lecture him, trying to assault him with his kind of onslaught of abuse towards him, of how frustrating he finds him, Dougal just rejects it. And likewise with Dougal to Colum, the two of them just don't listen to each other, which makes for just a fire in your belly because it's just so infuriating.
Yeah, I think our Lord and leader Matthew Roberts is mainly responsible for the frustration that I feel within scenes. It's so easy to play when the writing is essentially sketches out these journeys where they are having a monologue, even when they're talking to each other, because neither of them are listening to each other. They just both keep hammering down this same path, and it's so frustrating as an outsider to look into that, and you have so much empathy for it because you're just like, please listen to each other, and that's where our gorgeous Ned comes in.
They're incredibly stubborn, aren't they, the pair of them?
Yeah.
God, Ned's got a heck of a job to do.
Mackenzie,
can't you find a middle ground? And poor Ned's like,
well, I think we want to get the reward of seeing that, because in the original show you see them come together and there's a much more mutual respect than you see in our show. So this show will show how that came to be. This show will show. Show will show, baby. Show must go on. I'm a show off.
Show business.
Thank you for that. Okay, we're going to take a question directly from the next journalist. This is Aaron Conrad with 3F by Space.
Hi guys,
Aaron, are you in Scotland? Look at that beautiful backdrop.
No, that's just the camera work. I'm really enjoying it. And Tony, I'm going to echo what a previous panelist said about your role in Doctor Who. That was fabulous. And I know I've seen a couple of you others called The Midwife and some other shows. So this is fun. I have a theory there are only about 5 British actors. So question for all of you.
I'm Irish.
What
that's okay,
do you...
Scottish and Irish.
Yes.
What do you like or dislike about your characters or about portraying these characters?
I like the fact that he's got this single-mindedness, Lord Lovat. He's got this sort of drive, this ambition, this uncompromising attitude, that is pretty impressive, but is also extremely dangerous. I admire elements of that, but apart from that, playing a megalomaniac narcissist, there's not much else that I would want my children to be like Lord Lovat, frankly.
Right,
but his single-mindedness and his drive, I think, is very impressive. There you go, put that in your pipe and smoke.
Yeah, Dougal's less talking, more punching attitude is extremely fun to play. It's something that doesn't require too much meditative thought, and that is that's great fun to go to work and do.
I love the kind of masked male vulnerability that Colum has of trying to be a man, whereas he feels all at sea inside himself. I think that's just so fun to play and something I like. Every guy can connect with. So that's really fun.
I love Ned's patience. I would love to have more of Ned's patience, and also his quick fire solutions that he somehow just pulls out of thin air at times. I would love to have that.
Could all do with that.
Yeah.
He could do with that while working with us, to be fair.
Yeah.
True. Needs it.
I need a little more patience with both of them. Just a little bit.
I wish my character was more like my character in Call the Midwife. But it's
Shout out.
It's shout out called Midwife. It's a different time period. Murtagh's very wide-eyed. He's full of hope. He's a bit like a clown who keeps getting knocked over and he just kind of springs back up again, like covered in slightly more mud and like with a slightly bigger bruise. And he's not resilient, but he does just keep bouncing back, which I admire. But sometimes I just wish he'd stand up for himself a little bit more and maybe not always bow down to what this man tells him to do.
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I'm
You
enjoying
enjoyed
it.
it?
That's your question, my love. Thank you.
Thanks, Aaron.
Stand up for yourself. Enjoy the Highlands. Enjoy the Highlands.
Next up, we've got Heather Perry with Cumulus Media.
In Orange County.
Hi, Heather.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Heather.
Hi,
Hey.
Heather.
Heather, great
How are
change
you?
name there. My bonnie Heather.
I changed it just for this interview. Actually, before I ask my question, I have poured myself a wee dram of Sassenach.
Oh, come
Oh,
on.
Hunter.
Talking of a wee dram, this is not coffee.
I
Oh, do
figure
share.
when's the next time I'm going to get a chance to do it with Clan MacKenzie and Clan Fraser? So let's go, baby.
I hope it's the Sassenach.
Oh, it is. And it's
Easy, well done.
Fiery, eh?
Good luck.
and it definitely is, especially before dinner. So let's go. So my
Fabulous.
question for you guys, well, I've watched the first 6 episodes and I'm in love. I could watch them over and over again. You guys did such a great job. And I think that the Outlander fan base will also feel the same way. So
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. My question is, from this moment, right this moment on, go back to when you found out that you got the part. What has been the biggest pinch me moment for you personally? Was it going to the castle? Was it going to Comic-Con and seeing all the fans cheer for you? What do you think? And I know it's hard because it's probably a long period of time, but what's like one major moment that you just went, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening to me?
I think working with Tony Curran and Peter Mullen was quite a big thing. I think stepping onto a set where those caliber of actors are there is quite a pinch me moment. Yeah.
It's a great answer.
Yeah.
It's true. 'Cause I remember the moment I found out that Peter Mullen was playing my dad, and he, growing up, and still is my favourite actor, and so many Scottish actors' favourite actor. So the moment I found out that was happening, I couldn't stop screaming like a little girl. So if only you heard that. So yeah.
We had a moment the other day where we came off the plane to San Diego and we came around the corner with our bags and there were people waiting for us in the airport for us to sign things. And it felt like the bit in Bend It Like Beckham. That was all I could think in my head. It was like when they see David Beckham in the airport and people are taking pictures of them. That's sort of my life goal has been to be a bit like David Beckham. So that was my 30 seconds of Beck.
Start wearing a sarong.
Yeah.
So practice your life first.
Work on that accent as well.
Victoria.
I think definitely. I've lived in Los Angeles for a while, and definitely a lot of the posts that everybody's been posting, with Hermione and Jeremy and Harriet and Jamie, up on these incredible billboards in the Sunset Boulevard and all over Los Angeles has been very cool. But then getting here and then getting to hang out with these guys and the rest of our cast in LA and going to the premiere was a real sort of you felt that the energy of that Outlander world come to you, and it sort of fills you up, and it's like, whoa, there's a no pressure, but it felt very real and very sort of it's a big old show, and it felt it was definitely a moment.
It's incredibly rare as well to turn up to a premiere where the fans are already there. They know your character. They know everything about them. They know about the world.
Yeah.
That's because for us, this is a new show, right? but yet it has this established base of fans there who are so supportive, and that's quite a bizarre and brilliant experience.
And also the fact that I don't know, but me and Connor got together. I don't know if you noticed or anybody knows this, but because the red carpet is normally there, because we're blue eyes and redheads, we asked for the blue carpet. And I just thought at first they were joking and it wasn't ever going to happen, but they did. They brought the blue carpet, which was incredible, wasn't it? Incredible. That was a true story, by the way. True story. That was a pinch.
Just for the gingers.
Just for the gingers. My autobiography. Forward by Conor MacNeill. Thanks for your question. That was lovely.
Oh, thank you. No problem. Listen, I do a morning show in New England and Providence. I'm on the air every morning. So anytime you want to come by, I'll even bring the whiskey. So
I like it. Pack the car down and have a yard.
Enjoy finishing that bottle.
Enjoy finishing that bottle before dinner. More power.
Enjoy the ride and buckle up.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thanks, Heather. Okay, our next question is coming from Kuya P with Nerds Rule the World.
Hey, hello, gentlemen. It's a pleasure to chat with you guys. Hopefully my connection's stable. Thanks, guys. It's a pleasure to chat with you all. If I could put my actor hat on, I'm a fellow actor. I'm curious from you guys, with a series like this that blends a lot of romantic situations as well as action sequences, what do you get most nervous about? For me, it's like, kind of the same. I'm curious for you all individually. Do you get a little bit more nervous with romance or a little bit more nervous with the action?
Well, I've not done any action, so.
Or romance.
Or romance.
What have you been doing?
I'm
going to sit out.
In Seamus's defense, limping around set all day, and remember to limp when they say action. Obviously,
that was a problem.
That action, that's got to be a physical part of your job, my friend, isn't it?
No, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I forgot to limp for the first part of my job. Day one on set. Sam thought I was going to get fired because the director just keeps shouting, "Limp, limp!" I'd kind of run away after him in scenes. So yeah, that was an obstacle enough in itself.
I think there's obviously a lot of sensuality in the show. There's a lot of, sexuality and action. There's not much. It leaves no stone unturned. But I think I remember the first time, if I can say, the first time I came on set was the first scene that you see in the end, episode 1, and you always get a little bit nervous because obviously it's the Outlander world. But coming up on that balcony the first time was definitely a little nervous. What's so funny? Nervous. I was nervous. But anytime I take my clothes off, I'm always nervous for everybody else, So.
I think the big emotional scenes are the ones that I think about the most. Action, it's great, but like you have a lot of adrenaline and there's like all the stunties around you, and it just makes it easy.
Did you fart? Is that why you're laughing? What happened here? Something happened. The MacKenzies are always trouble. I'm so sorry.
I'm not laughing the show, so I'm just letting it out now. Sorry, everybody.
It's legal time. No, you guys move on.
I don't have any romance.
These two out.
So
I would say whenever we come to work, everything is geared towards us feeling as connected as a team as possible, and it's very hard not to feel excited when you rock up. And everyone's purpose there is to make this show look and feel as great and entertaining as possible, and just to blend into that family and have fun creating something. On the day, I'd say it doesn't feel like you're making this massive show. It feels like you're playing and creating with friends and making a really fab piece of entertainment.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. It's a pleasure to chat with you.
Well said, MacKenzie.
Can I ask you, what do you get most nervous about?
The action, to be honest. Especially after recent events with like Alec Baldwin and all those kind of things. Did everybody do their job? But I say it's about equal amounts of nervousness.
Yeah, just nervous.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. If you're not nervous, you're not doing it right? We should all.
There's got to be a lot of adrenaline there. Absolutely. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you so much, man.
Cheers, man.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Kuya. Okay, we have time for one last question.
Seamus, tone it down, son.
This last question is from Morgan White with Scenes in Color.
He gives away that.
He did so on.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
You can.
Good morning.
Okay, I'm not sure why you can't see me, but let's go ahead and go. My question is, there's so many good scenes throughout the entire series, and they also have little connections, and it gives little glimpses and insight into the previous Outlander series. So with all of that being said, if you could send a message to new fans wanting to just join in on the series right now, what would it be?
I think you're getting elements of the characters you love so well that you've never seen before. And I think you're seeing aspects of the journey of how they all ended up where they end up, and how those characters became who they are in Blood of My Blood, which isn't in Outlander. So for that, I think come watch Blood of My Blood.
The show's so beautifully crafted in the way that it stands so firmly on its own foundations, and yet there will be so much in there for the original for the fans of the original show. So much more that they can extrapolate, all of these Easter eggs. There's another dimension of fun that can be taken away from the show. But like I say, it really does stand as a piece on its own. And yeah, you don't need any advice, only to come and switch on and switch off.
I think an origin story is always fascinating, going back to where we hail from, and how these men and women and these clans and these people traveling through time, how that came to be. What was it, Jamie's parents and Claire's parents, how they actually how did they travel through time or not? And I think that's a fascinating element of the story as well, with the feuding clans. So yeah, hopefully people will tune in, because it's going to be a hell of a ride.
Yeah, there's something for everyone, isn't there?
Yeah,
Romance,
definitely. I definitely think that it'll be pretty easy for fans of the previous series to just, jump right in and enjoy it, as well as new fans to come in. And I will say that you all did a remarkable job portraying these characters. They're so beloved, and especially Seamus and both Conor. I will say I even noticed some of the way you all spoke and the mannerisms that you use. It really embodied those characters, and it also you also gave it an original spin as well. So we're excited to get everybody involved in watching this series.
Yeah, so true. I mean, like, I'm sorry if I may be so bold. Like Bill Patterson, obviously Conor plays so beautifully. I've said to Conor this morning at breakfast, there's elements in his performance, very subtle, that are that ring true of the original, of the actor who's played Ned. And you too, my friend, you too with Gary. So it's these little details are beautiful to see, within your character sort of journey.
But these guys have built it as well, haven't they?
Yeah. I wasn't fishing, but thank you.
100%.
So just blow smoke.
Thanks.
We're all excited to get to watch this series. Both old and new fans can just jump right in. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Morgan. Thank you, Morgan. And thank you, gentlemen, for your answers today. This concludes our virtual press conference for Outlander Blood of My Blood. Make sure to tune into the premiere on Friday, August 8th on STARZ.
Thank you. While we're sitting here.